Trying to figure out the best care for a loved one, it's one of the biggest, most personal decisions any of us can make. We all want to make sure they're safe, comfortable, and can live with dignity, right? And ideally, they get to do that in the place they know best, their own home. So, how do we make that happen? Let's dive into that.
This is the big question, isn't it? It's something so many families are trying to figure out. You're balancing that deep desire for your loved one's independence with the very real need for support. Today, we're going to look at a solution that really puts compassion right at the heart of the answer.
So, before we even jump into the logistics of care, let's just take a step back and think about what home really means, because it's so much more than just a building.
I mean, think about it. It's that favorite chair, right? The familiar morning routine, the pictures on the wall that tell a life story. Home is where everything just feels right. It's where life feels authentic. And holding on to that sense of independence and connection, it's absolutely crucial for their well-being. But look, we all know life changes. And as our loved ones' needs change, keeping up that life at home can start to get, well, pretty challenging. Families start running into a whole new set of hurdles, both practically and emotionally. Let's break down what that support often needs to look like. Okay, so when we talk about care needs, it's not just one thing. It's really a spectrum. On one hand, you've got what are called activities of daily living, or ADLs. These are the absolute fundamentals, personal care, getting around safely. But then you have the other side of the coin, the IADLs. These are all the things that keep a household running. Think meal prep, errands, keeping the house in order. A really good care plan has to cover both. And this is so important. Because it is never just about a to-do list, is it? There's this huge emotional side. For the person needing care, isolation can be a real problem. And for the family members trying to do it all, that risk of burnout is incredibly high. Just that constant nagging worry about their safety. Man, that is a heavy weight to carry. So with all those challenges on the table, the practical stuff and that huge emotional weight, how do you actually solve for all of it? Well, this brings us to a specific approach, one that starts by seeing the individual first. Let's take a look at how Pleasant Vine Home Care tackles these exact problems. Now, you might hear this term person-centered care and think it's just a buzzword, but it's not. What it really means is that the care plan is built around the person, not the other way around. It's about honoring who they are, their life story, what they like and dislike, all to make sure they feel seen and respected. And this shows you exactly how they put that philosophy into action. It's a partnership, right from the start. Step one is just listening, really understanding what your family is going through. Then they create a care plan that's truly one of a kind. The care itself is compassionate and reliable, and maybe most importantly, the whole thing is flexible because they know that needs can change over time. And here's where the rubber meets the road. You can see how these services are direct answers to all those challenges we talked about. You've got personal care for those ADLs, companionship to fight off loneliness, respite care, that's a lifeline for family caregivers to prevent burnout, and specialized care for conditions like dementia. It really is a complete circle of support. Of course, you can talk about services and approaches all day, but the real proof, the truest measure of a care provider, always comes from the families themselves. Their words tell the real story. Just listen to this from Dottie Moore. That one phrase, I no longer feel stressed or worried. Wow, that's it. That's the peace of mind that every single family is searching for. It's about lifting that heavy weight we mentioned earlier. This testimonial from Jamila, it's just incredibly powerful. She talks about being overwhelmed and burnt out, a feeling so many caregivers know all too well. But the part that really stands out is her mention of no judge and how they respected her as a deaf individual. That shows a level of empathy and understanding that goes so far beyond just checking tasks off a list. It's about creating a safe, supportive space for the entire family. And Tammy's review here gets right to the heart of the service, the actual caregivers. She calls the aide wonderful, caring, and mentions she does it all with a smile. It's about that human connection, right? Making the caregiver feel like a trusted, welcome part of the family. All right, so if you're in Pennsylvania or Delaware and this is all resonating with you, let's get down to the practical details. We're going to make sure to highlight how you can connect with their team, especially their office right in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay, here's the information you'll need. You've got their Pennsylvania office in Norristown, and for our viewers in Delaware, take a good look. The Wilmington office is at 3200 Concord Pike, and that direct phone number for you is 302-800-1008.
And this just gives you an idea of their service area. They cover a wide range in Pennsylvania, including Montgomery and Philadelphia counties. And in Delaware, they're serving families all throughout Newcastle County and Kent County, so they have great coverage in the region.
You know, when you really boil it all down, this is what it's all about. It's a two-way street. For the family, it's that deep sigh of relief, that peace of mind knowing your loved one is truly cared for. And for the person receiving the care, it's getting to live their life with dignity, comfort, and joy right there in the place they love most. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Putting aside all the logistics and the schedules, what would that feeling of true peace of mind for both you and your loved one, what would that really mean for your family? Because finding the right partner in this journey can make all the difference in the world.